If we can make this one second, so not
Livonia somewhere.
Everybody make sure you got your coffee, your tea, your drink, whatever. You don't have to be quiet for me yet. You got 2 minutes before you have to be quiet. 2 more minutes and we're going to get started. Find yourself a seat.
Next year we can have a committee. 100%. I'm bridging what you guys may need in the next 5 to 10 years. That's it. Everybody's got a chair. We're going to start the program. It's okay. I don't want anybody talking over me because most of the time, most people don't listen to what I have to say anyway. My point exactly. I want you to know that while we sit here in this packed room. And the president of Madonna said, I hope we can fit everybody in. I got news for you. This is a bigger crowd than we expected. Give yourselves a round of applause. And while we are here, Wisconsin has 2 TV cameras set up. We are live streamed over 4 different YouTube channels and Facebook channels. So people all over southeastern Michigan are watching you, and what a great welcoming community Livonia is. Let's wave to the camera. For 51 years, the Livonia Prayer Breakfast Committee brought the community together to pray for local and national leaders. Founded at the same time as it was founded in Washington, D.C. It's one of Michigan's first cities to observe the National Day of Prayer with a morning breakfast. Livonia has long endorsed this tradition. Thank you, Robert. Over time, Livonia's faith community has grown more diverse, reflecting, as we have seen tonight, a beautiful mosaic of beliefs and traditions. Hindu, Sikh, Jewish, Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, Buddhist, Baha'i, and those who identify as agnostic, atheists, or free thinkers. Over the past 3 months, representatives of this hometown Livonia has been involved in coming together to move forward with a day of unity, celebrating Livonia's inclusiveness for all faiths and ethnicities. As we join together this evening, let us share just a brief moment and unite as you remain seated with the joint reading found in your program. So if you will take your program in front of you, the invocation for unity is shared understanding, emblematic of the respect we each hold for each other. So when I start it, please join in with me. For those who seek need beyond faith, let us uphold the universal values of kindness, justice, and cooperation. May we walk together in the spirit of shared humanity, building a world where dignity and respect know no bounds. Wonderful. What a great way to start our evening off. What a great way. So now, State Representative, we're going to move right through our program because there are so many beautiful segments that we're going to share. State Representative Stephanie Young, a dedicated leader serving the civil rights before the introduction, during the introduction, and when the introduction is finished. So Stephanie, you come right up here so that I can get some applause with it. Let's give her one more applause. She brings a wealth of experience in community advocacy, legislative leadership, and faith-based service. As a licensed and ordained minister, affectionately known as Elder Steph, she has long championed the values of unity, compassion, and shared humanity. In her reflections on faith and unity, Rip Young emphasizes the power of collective understanding, the importance of embracing diverse traditions, and the role of faith in fostering humanity and harmony within communities. Her leadership, both in government and ministry, continues to inspire meaningful dialogue and action toward a more inclusive and connected society. Please welcome again a legislator I admire who serves Livonia and humanity as good as anybody could expect. Representative Stephanie.
Wow. Well, you know what, family? We are here on this auspicious occasion. This is the very first one, right?
The first, but not the last.
Well, of course not. And when we look at the room, you would think this is the type of event that took a few years to build a crowd like this, right? Usually you might have like half the room full on the first one. But this shows us just how welcoming just how loving and how caring Livonia is. And so with that, I'm just going to ask you all to give yourselves a round of applause. This is absolutely amazing. And I stand here today because it's an honor. It's an honor for me to be here for Livonia's first day of unity and prayer. Unity and prayer for all the years you all have labored putting on the breakfast during the session day when I can't usually be here, but I'm grateful for the work. I'm grateful for the work because it shows again how welcoming and how much you all care. And when I look at my own life and I think about my time in the legislature, during my first term, I like to tell the story because we're talking about unity and faith and all those things. And so I had my one seat mate to the right of me was somebody you all know pretty well. And that would be State Representative Lori Pahusky right here from Livonia. That's right. Let's give it up for Lori. And then to the left of me, I had Representative Abraham Ayash, a Muslim young gentleman from Hamtramck. And he literally became one of my best friends in the legislature. And then people would look at us and like, this isn't an odd couple, I don't know what is. This young Muslim and this old black lady from Detroit, this old Christian lady. And we will be hand in hand, and what we found that united us was our love for humanity. What united us, yes, because we were deeply rooted in our faith. So they may look different, the faith that we had, that the belief that we had in the God that we serve united us. And that's what I see in this room today. I see multiple faiths being united under the umbrella of love. Many of you all know who know me, I have this little catch stand. It says, love is the work. And that's what sends me to Lansing each and every day. The love for people, the love for humanity. And I have a few prepared remarks that I am going to still read. When we look at the tapestry of traditions here, religious and faith traditions here, we can be so excited. Just like I said, when I got to Livonia, I didn't know what to expect. Come on, y'all. When you look around Livonia, y'all know I didn't know what to expect. I was like, how did they draw me into Livonia? But oh my goodness, it has been the biggest blessing because of this room right here. Each of you continue to add a very unique thread to the fabric of our community here in Livonia. And it's precisely this type of diversity of beliefs and backgrounds and perspectives that strengthens us all. In times both of joy and challenge, faith and spirituality have always been a source of comfort, guidance, and inspiration for us here in Livonia. And today reminds me that beyond the walls of our individual places of worship, there exists something even greater, our shared commitment to mutual respect, compassion, and understanding. Unity does not mean uniformity. Is that right? Unity does not mean uniformity. It means honoring what makes us all unique, while recognizing the common humanity that binds us. And so again, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for welcoming this old girl from Detroit. I'm so grateful to be able to share this very first with you, and I look forward to many more to come. God bless you all.
I'm going to give her a hug. I'm going to give her a hug anyway. My favorite, absolutely. Bud Riddle stands as a dedicated advocate for honoring the ancestral lands of indigenous peoples, recognizing their enduring stewardship and deep-rooted connection to this land. His commitment to acknowledging the history and contributions of Native communities reflects a profound respect for their traditions, resilience, and cultural heritage. It rose to this land long before we ever arrived. As you and I gather here today, we need to pay tribute to the indigenous peoples who have cared for this land for generations, ensuring its preservation and vitality for future generations. Through this recognition, we have reaffirmed our commitment to unity, respect, and the ongoing journey of understanding and recognition. Would you join in welcoming me, a friend of Livonia, a traditional Native American land acknowledgement, Bud Riddle.
Thank you. Bonjour. My name is Bud Riddle, and I'm Ojibwe from the White Earth Nation in northern Minnesota. My mother was born on the reservation. About 12,000 years ago, the Potawatomi Indians inhabited this land that we now call Livonia. I hold this eagle feather in my hand because the eagle flies closest to the Great Spirit, and when we say our prayers, the eagle carries that prayer all the way to the Great Chief. Many years ago, a native chief had a vision of food that grows on the water, and he searched up through the Niagara Falls area and found nothing, and then migrated to the Great Lakes area and discovered wild rice, and that discovery sustained the tribe. Native Americans believed in animism, which is traditions that held elements of all things, including animals, plants, and inanimate objects that possess a spirit or a soul. Sacred places and certain locations like mountain ranges, rivers, and burial grounds are often considered sacred and hold spiritual significance. Many tribes have spiritual leaders, often called shamans or medicine men, but who are believed to have the ability to communicate with the spirit world and heal the sick. I appreciate you letting me speak today, and I appreciate how all natives believe that we are all relatives to this land. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Bill Katz. Just thank you. I know very little about the Native American culture, and I'm just so glad that Bud Riddle was willing to share. That was our start in this community throughout southeastern Michigan. Before any of us came with any of our faiths, it was the Native Americans that walked here and made this land possible. Gail Katz, a dedicated advocate for interfaith understanding and unity, brings forth a heartfelt Jewish prayer for peace, healing, and harmony, drawn from the wisdom of Rabbi Harold Kushner. Her invocation calls upon blessings for all of humanity, emphasizing compassion, resilience, and the shared hope of a world free of suffering. Through her words, she fosters a spirit of togetherness, reminding us of the power of faith in collective goodwill and nurturing a more peaceful and inclusive society. Would you please join and welcome with me to the Jewish prayer for the world, Gail Katz.
I would just like to say a few words about Rabbi Harold Kushner, who wrote the prayer that I'm going to say. He was an American rabbi, author, and lecturer. He was a member of the Rabbinical Assembly of Conservative Judaism and served as the congregational rabbi of Temple Israel of Natick in Natick, Massachusetts for 24 years. Kushner gained widespread recognition for his many popular books. His most prominent works include When Bad Things Happen to Good People, delving into human suffering and divine kindness following his son's death, and the book When All You've Ever Wanted Isn't Enough, exploring themes of life's purpose and the pursuit of fulfillment. Rabbi Kushner focused on God's role in offering comfort and solace to those who suffer. He was born in New York City on April 3rd, 1935, and he died in Canton, Massachusetts at the age of 88 on April 28, 2023. So a prayer for the world. Let the rain come and wash away the ancient grudges. the bitter hatreds held and nurtured over generations. Let the rain wash away the memory of the hurt, the neglect. Let the sun come and fill the sky with rainbows. Let the warmth of the sun heal us wherever we are broken. Let it burn away the fog so that we can see each other clearly, so that we can see beyond labels, beyond accents, gender, or skin color. Let the warmth and brightness of the sun melt our selfishness, so we can share the joys, feel the sorrows of our neighbors. Let the earth, nourished with rain, bring forth flowers to surround us with beauty, and let the mountains teach our hearts to reach upwards to heaven. Amen.
He's learning so much that each of you can come forward. The Hindu community, deeply rooted in traditions of wisdom and devotion, embraces the teachings of Lord Ganesha. I apologize if I mispronounce any names. The reverend remover of obstacles and bringer of prosperity. Through prayer and reflection, they seek to cultivate harmony, foster spiritual and material well-being, and contribute to global peace. Their commitment to compassion, unity, and the pursuit of knowledge serves as a guiding force in building a world where barriers dissolve, prosperity flourishes, and humanity thrives in mutual respect and understanding. Please put your hands together and welcome with me, side for side, the members of the Hebrew community. I stand humbled. How much do you want to pay to get me to sit down?
Namaste. Good evening to everybody here. So I'll start chanting the Omkara 3 times, and that will be followed with the chanting, and I'll describe what the meaning behind it is. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Salutations to Lord Ganesha. In the Hindu tradition, Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, the Lord of beginnings, is revered as the remover of obstacles. Lord Ganesha is worshipped before any undertaking to bless us with success and positive outcomes. The Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, one of the great and sacred scriptures of the Hindu tradition, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad meaning the Lord, and Gita the song. This divine scripture was presented 5,000 years ago in the form of a dialogue between Lord Sri Krishna and the warrior Arjuna. It has 18 chapters consisting of 701 verses. A few teachings from the Bhagavad Gita, We'll just see the just three teachings. The first one being path of action, which says karma yoga. It means performing all our actions without expectations. Sounds very easy, but very hard to practice. So there is a verse that explains this. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि. The second path of devotion, bhakti yoga, meaning offering unconditional love and devotion to God and have steady faith in Him. अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. And the path of self-knowledge. This path to attain God through the knowledge of the self. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarvapapebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be peace inside us, around us, and in the entire universe. Thank you.
In Livonia, we have a Hindu temple on 7 Mile and Greenbelt Road. And she is one of our teachers who is teaching all of the children as well as adults, whoever is interested in teaching the Bhagavad Gita. And that's why she is able to recite each and every stanza, which is in Sanskrit, so clearly, so perfectly. Thank you very much. My name is Sai Prasad. I am one of the board members for the temple. And when Bill and Steve contacted me about this faith organization, then I said, okay, it's a great opportunity to spread the word about Hinduism, because most of the times, when you don't know about the faith, you get to misunderstand, and the media, all the news that comes around, sometimes they are facts, sometimes are not. So I thought this is a great platform for us to be there. So thank you, Bill, for inviting us. I'll take 2 minutes to talk about few words about Hinduism. So Hinduism is also known as Sanatana Dharma, is the world's oldest living religion. It is sometimes referred to as the way of life or family of religion, as opposed to a single organized religion. Hinduism is a global religion with the followers representing virtually every racial, ethnic, and national background, and living in every continent. Hinduism views as the universe as a family, or in Sanskrit we call it as Vasudhaivika Kutumbam. This world is one family. Every faith is part of our family. And we accept all the faiths from different cultures into our religion as well. In Hinduism, we worship a single deity, which we call as Brahma, but still recognize the God and goddesses. Followers believe that there are multiple paths to reach their God. Hinduism is closely related to other Indian religions like Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. So all these are part of the Hindu culture in the Indian continent. And Hindus believes in the doctrine of samsara, which is the continuous cycle of life and death and reincarnation, and karma, the universal law of cause and effect. One fundamental principle of religion is the idea of people's action, thoughts directly determine their current life and future lives.
One of the key thoughts of Hinduism is Atma, that means the soul. So this philosophy holds that living creatures have a soul, and they're all part of the Supreme Soul, and the goal is to achieve moksha, this is salvation, which ends the cycle of rebirth to become the part of Supreme Soul. So the popularly recited Hindu invocation demonstrates his concern for universal kinship and well-being, and Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Mam Kischit Dukha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings be happy. The meaning of the stanza is, may all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings experience prosperity, may none in the world suffer. And there is a lot of contributions done by Hinduism to the mankind in terms of inventions, there is education. First university was established back in India in 700 BC, and then invention of zero, and numerical decimals and all that. Astronomy, metallurgy, medicine, surgery, all these fields have a significant contribution for the humankind. And also yoga and meditation, and we practice that in our temple every week, and this is free. And anyone who wishes to do it, it is online and no fees, and you can join for free classes. And with that, I will have a 2 minutes of prayer on the instrument by one of the high school girls. Actually, this instrument is called Veena, and this instrument is very traditional instrument from last, I think, maybe 500 years old. But there are some few teachers, they are still teach this instrument, and we have just getting connected this to the speaker system. You have that connection? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for waiting patiently.
And to think the cultural pictures defining Livonia has just expanded exponentially with this wonderful presentation. Manakshi, I'm gonna get it right. And Prasad, thank you very much, and for your young students. I can't sing, I can't play a musical instrument, I can just sit back and marvel and do. And when I see something like this, I'm blown away. Thank you very much for being with us. Steve Spreitzer, a veteran of over 35 years in interfaith relations, has dedicated his career to fostering understanding and inclusion among diverse communities. As the CEO and president of the Michigan Roundtable for Diversity and Inclusion, soon to retire, he has worked tirelessly to bridge divides and promote meaningful connections across racial, religious, and cultural lines. His reflection on our common journey to know and care about our neighbors emphasizes the importance of empathy, dialogue, and shared humanity in building a more compassionate and united society. Through his leadership, Steve continues to inspire efforts for justice, equality, and mutual respect. Would you please welcome a friend of Michigan and certainly a friend of Livonia, Steve Spreitzer.
Thanks, Bill. It's good to see everyone. The good news is, I'm strong and title in my remarks, just simply, we need each other. A few questions on that. So as I look around the room, it's pretty clear. We come from different places. Some are followers of one of the religions we're observing tonight. Some are happily unaffiliated. Some are seeking. Skeptics. And you name it, right? But one thing that we do have in common that unites us is our need to be loved. And that's what we find here tonight. Hopefully that's what we can take back out in the community, that, let's face it, like you need a reminder that we're sitting here delighting and learning each other, that we're going to return to an area where we're going to need a little extra power to love. Maybe it's our spouse, maybe it's our family, maybe it's a neighbor. Come to the right place to get prayed up. Because, you know, Carl Jung had an image of a mountain rather, and he talked about spiritual pilgrims along the base, climbing to the top to get to commune with their holy woman, their holy man, their higher power, the creator, etc. They were on the journey, and as they got toward the top, they started to realize, some of those basketball players with purple vision, they realized that they weren't alone. And as they engaged the source of their journey, they realized they weren't alone. So Carl Jung used that image to just let us know that the closer we get to God, etc., the closer we get to one another. Tonight offers a different understanding of that the closer we get to one another, the closer we get to God, to the Creator, to our higher power, to whatever you're communing with. You know, coming down from that mountain, you got to be mindful that these places are important for us, be it your regular place of worship, or be praying, or extraordinary places like tonight. St. Francis of Assisi, who is special to the Franciscan community here, the Felician Sisters, spoke about being contemplatives in action. He would go to his hermitage and stay until he had what he needed to come do the hard work. Back then it might have been embracing a leper, person with leprosy. It might have been crossing a battlefield to meet with the Sultan. He had to have that energy. How well we know that, someone who maybe voted different than us, to not just patronize them, but that they know you love them, even though you might be just frustrated with the reality of the day. Bob Roussel, who's the head of the Interfaith, well, co-founder of the Interfaith Leadership Council of Metro Detroit. Bob, where are you, my friend? There's Bob. There are many people in this room that have great distinctions. Bob happens to just be my good friend, my bike riding buddy, and occasional root beer drinking friend. But when we're out in the community, we'll go to events like this, and Bob will say, "That's really nice, Steve. How are we going to live together? Right? How are we going to live together?" And no shame, no shade, or whatever on how nice this is. But we know where we're heading out toward. You know, I want to share one little story, and then I'm out. Hardeep Singh Kalika. Some of you know him, maybe some from the Sikh community. Hardeep was here 9 years ago at Kresge Auditorium, just across the parking lot. This was after a very tough presidential campaign. And so we asked him to come and offer us some hope, and he showed his film called Waking in Oak Creek. So, August of 2012 in Oak Creek, a person who was of a neo-Nazi background took his AK-47, went into the Sikh Gurdwara while people were praying, called them all terrorists, and shot and killed 6 of them, and was apprehended in the parking lot while he was reloading. And so Hardeep created this film to tell his story, and his story is, after the killing, his brother, because it was his father and 5 dear friends of the family, intimate connection. His brother says, "We need to get revenge, Hardeep." And he says, "No, I'm going to go where this person is from, and I'm going to let them know that they're loved." And he did. And he continues to travel around the world, de-radicalizing people who have been socialized into hate. So meeting him, going to his house and spending the night on an anniversary of that killing, I was hoping his mojo would rub off on me. But anyway, so fast forward a year after that, the village president of Kalkaska, Michigan calls for death to all Muslims. That he needs to thin the herd of Black Lives Matter and take out people who are transgender. He said this. And the town asked for help in organizing to change the narrative, to put someone in leadership that they could be proud of and reflected what they really believed. So with my knees buckling and fearfully, knowing the Michigan militia was gathering there, my wife was saying, "You don't have to go." I asked Hardeep for some help. And he said, "What have you done so far?" Blah, blah, blah. And he says, "Have you called this guy?" And I go, "Well, I sent him an email." And he goes, "No, Steve." And then his voice raised. And he was now chastising me because he lives this. And he said, "Steve, call him. He needs to know he's loved." And I realized, because sure, yeah. And I'm glad he didn't connect with me, because I couldn't have given him what Hardeep has given. I've not spent enough time in the kind of prayer and reflection, gaining that energy to authentically to love. And I think that's really the challenge, that we sort of feed off of each other. We need each other, right? If you don't remember anything else, that we need each other. The person with a different name, different music, there's something there that they have that we need to be whole. So thanks for being that for me tonight, and look forward to seeing you again out in the vineyard. Bill, back to you, brother.
I learn more and more every time I sit around and listen to people like Steve, or listen to the beautiful music and the chants. It's just phenomenal. The traditional nasheed is a cherished Islamic song that was sung by the people of Medina to welcome the Prophet Muhammad upon his arrival. This timeless melody symbolizes peace, unity, and joy, reflecting the deep reverence and love for the Prophet. His lyrics express gratitude and admiration, celebrating his presence as a guiding light for humanity. The nasheed continues to be performed across generations, inspiring devotion, and harmony within communities worldwide. Would you join in welcoming with me the Voices of Salam Choir under the direction of Lael Musa, the principal, and one of our committee members? Let's welcome them up to the stage.
So thank you, Livonia, for welcoming my students this afternoon. When we were first informed and invited to this amazing gathering, the one thing that came to mind, I'm not the person really to represent this, but working alongside amazing friends as Bill and Steve and many other friends, I got to really come close, with virtually through Zoom or in person. I felt like this is the right purpose, and everything we've heard this afternoon is nothing but love, unity, peace, coming together, and just being under one cause of humanity. And my students come today as non-professional choir members. We're putting this together just to celebrate this amazing positive spirit that's already there in Livonia, and it's only going to be further and further more amazing under such leadership and under such amazing spirit. And the way that the city's heading is nothing but amazing and welcoming. So let's welcome my students from Universal Learning Academy. Those amazing young ladies and young gentlemen spend every Sunday for the past, I want to say, a couple months, rehearsing and practicing to the best that they can. I do want to extend my gratitude to their families, all my friends, all my colleagues that came together to really make this happen, for me and my family, in this amazing city of Livonia. Let's put it back. Give it one other line. We have a range of 4th, 5th, 7th, and 9th grade students. We're going to begin with the call to prayer with our friend. If you want to step forward, we'll get you the mic. Thank you. So when you're ready, let's go.
I will now be saying the adhan, which is in our religion, the call to prayer. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن
IT, when you're ready, just give me a thumbs up so I can get the kiddos going.
إنسانية الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة مرحبا يا خير داع جاء والدنيا ظلام جاء للناس نذيرا إنه الهادي محمد جاء من خير البقاع طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أنت شمس أنت بدر أنت نور فوق نور مثل وجهك ما رأينا قط يا وجه السرور أنت والله يا محمد أنت مفتاح الصدور مثلنا تمشي رويدا نحونا يا خير داع طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع طلع البدر نبيا كم تمنينا لقاء طيب القلب صفيا لم يخيبنا رجاء وحدوا الله جميعا كلنا تحت لواء عاليا بالناس قدرا داعيا فينا مطاع طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع
All I can say when Steve Spicer and I sat and talked about the need to expand the Livonia Prayer Breakfast to be more welcoming. We had no idea that when we sat down with Lyle, and she said, I live in Livonia. I want it to be a friendly, welcoming community. I want to be a part. And after listening to her students, I think you've accomplished that. Congratulations. Between the chants that you gave us and the music there and the songs, I don't know if I'm going to get any sleep tonight. Wow. This is the town that I call home, and I feel a real sense of pride. appropriate to join together at Madonna University and not have a good sister share with us. And if you've heard her sing, Sister Mary Ann Smith, who happens to be the president of the Livonia Symphony Orchestra, delivers a heartfelt vocal performance of the sacred Catholic hymn Ave Maria, a timeless expression of faith and devotion to Mary, the Mother of Jesus Christ. Rooted in centuries of tradition, this revered hymn embodies themes of grace, prayer, and spiritual reflection, offering a moment of peace and reverence. Through her voice, Sister Mary Ann Smith invites us to embrace the beauty of sacred music and the profound connection it fosters within the community. Would you please join in welcoming with me, Sister Mary Ann Smith. Sister said she would sing today if I reminded you that the Livonia Symphony Orchestra next concert is on the 10th of this month at Claresville High School. Let's give her a round of applause. Nolan leads a powerful recitation. And I'm not going to pronounce it because I've made a fool of myself too many times tonight. But it is a central chant of Buddhism that promotes inner transformation, human dignity, and peace. Rooted in the teachings of the Lotus Sutra, this mantra embodies the belief that all individuals possess the potential for enlightenment and positive change. Through his invocation, Mahaprabhu invites us to reflect on the interconnectedness of all beings and the power of determination in overcoming obstacles. Would you please join in welcoming Nolan?
have a prayer for my printer. I'm going to be reading off my phone.
Wait a minute, what faith do you want to pray for you?
We'll take it all. We'll take it all. Thank you. So you might be wondering, who was the Buddha and what do Nichiren Buddhists believe? We're Nichiren Buddhists, and we're in the community of Livonia, but also all throughout the Michigan region and the United States and across the world. So the historical Buddha, also known as Shakyamuni Buddha, was an ordinary human being who awakened to the profound potential within his own life. In Nichiren Buddhism, we believe that this same potential exists equally within every single person here tonight and outside of this community. It's why we emphasize the inherent dignity and respect that all people deserve. The prime point of our practice is chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. Nam means devotion, Myoho, the mystic law, Renge, the simultaneity of cause and effect, and Kyo, sound or teaching. Chanting this mantra enables us to connect to the mystic law of the universe, otherwise described as the positive rhythmic force within all things. Another way to conceive of this fundamental law of the universe is as an underlying truth or reality shared between all things. We manifest the power of this law through chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, the result of which is the emotional strength and wisdom to overcome all obstacles in our daily lives. In brief, our Buddhist practice empowers us to take action to transform our lives for the better and to create our own happiness based on a strong sense of self. The name given to this inner potential, again, is Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. Every day we chant this phrase, morning and evening, for an indeterminable amount of time, as a way to center ourselves and bring forth a high life condition, our best possible selves, every day. We also recite the 2nd and 16th chapters of the Lotus Sutra in a practice known as Gongyo, as a means of refreshing the idea that all people from every background have this incredible potential to overcome suffering and become happy. In our tradition, problems are not in themselves the fundamental cause of unhappiness. Lack of power and wisdom to solve our problems is the real cause. Doubting that we can overcome life's challenges causes people to suffer. We also speak of employing what is known as the strategy of the Lotus Sutra, which means facing life's challenges not with force, fear, or negativity, but by putting faith first, with a deep sense of purpose, rooted in wisdom, compassion, and the belief in the inherent dignity of our shared humanity. Our community here in Livonia is part, as I mentioned, of the broader SGI USA, which in itself is part of the SGI, or the Soka Gakkai International, a global Buddhist network with members in over 192 countries and territories. We in the SGI are committed to peace, dialogue, and the happiness of all people. At the heart of our belief is that every single person possesses the qualities of wisdom, courage, compassion, and the potential to change the world for the better. At this time, I'd like to invite my fellow SGI members here today to stand. So you may recognize them, they're really great. And now we're going to chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. We're going to demonstrate that for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'll set a timer. And if you'd like to join us, feel free. The words are on here. Again, the pronunciation is Nam,
Myoho Renge Kyo. So please feel free to join us. We're going to chant for a few minutes. I hope that you enjoy it. Is there a way to use the wireless microphone? Yes. Great. I got my beats over there. Is that? I got my beats. Yeah. Okay. We have a mandala that we normally pray to called the Gohanzen, but for today, we're going to pray to the wonderful campus of Madonna University in unity. So thank you, everyone.
Brandon McCullough, Jerry Krasinski, and Lori Miller, when you go back to City Hall tomorrow, you tell them that Livonia is welcoming and we have more culture in this town than they would ever. I know I'm not going to sleep tonight trying to figure it out. As we move closer, members of the Sikh community are going to present to us a musical reflection honoring Sikh traditions, celebrating the core values of devotion, service, equality, and compassion through sacred melodies. The musical offering embodies the spirit of selfless service, eternal optimism, principles that guide the Sikhs in their commitment to humanity. Through the power of music, they invite us to reflect on unity, resilience, and the shared journey toward peace and understanding. Would you join in welcoming with me members of our Sikh community.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us here today. It's a pleasure to be here with you and talking to you about the Sikh faith. Sikhism is the fifth largest religion. We barely know it because you won't hear about it that much. Today, you'll be listening to a prayer from our holy book, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That is our living Guru. And this verse was written by our fourth spiritual master, Guru Ram Das Ji. And today it's sung by our master musicians from our local Sikh place of worship called the Gurudwara in Plymouth. So Gurudwara means a door that takes you from darkness to light. And Guru is a teacher that takes you from darkness to light. So I will just say the Guru Ki or the Punjabi version of what's in our holy book. It says, Sab jot teri jag jeevana, tu kat kat har rang rangana. I will try to translate that into English. This verse reminds us that God is a divine light in everyone, the light that flows through all creation. Every heart is filled with His presence, and everything is colored with His love. All beings turn to Him, whether they realize it or not, because He's the true source, pure, eternal, and beyond this world. While we often think we are in control, this verse tells us the truth. God is the one giver, and all of us receivers, constantly asking, consciously or unconsciously, for His blessings. Through the Guru's guidance, we come to see that God is not just separate from us. He is within us, around us, and in all our relationships. He's both the master and the humble servant, present in all roles. When we understand this and live by it, we feel uplifted and spiritually enriched. In the end, everything we gain, joy, peace, success, comes from His grace, and acknowledging the truth opens the door to real fulfillment. And one thing we say in the Sikh faith often and often again is, if you don't see God in all, you don't see God at all. Thank you so much. May God bless us all. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
सब जावे तुझ मेरे प्रीतमा, तू सत सत पूरख निरंजना। सब जावे तुझ मेरे प्रीतमा, तू सत सत पूरख निरंजना। सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना, तू घट घट हर सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना। हर जात सब मंद मुंडना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट हर नंदना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर नंदना सेवक ठाकुर सब तो है गुरमति हार चंग चंगना सेवक ठाकुर सब तो है गुरमति हार चंग चंगना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर रंग सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर रंग सबका मुखार ऋषिकेश हरे ऋषिकेश हरे चित पावे सब फल फलना सबका मुखार ऋषिकेश हरे ऋषिकेश हरे चित पावे सब फल फलना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर रंग रंगना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर रंग रंगना सब त्यावे तुझ मेरे प्रीतमा तू सत सत पूरे करने रखना सबका सत्य बेलारिया हर जात सब मंद मंदना सेवक ठाकुर सब तू है गुरमति हर चंग चंगना सबका मुखो ऋषिकेश हरे ऋषिकेश हरे जित पावे सब फल फलना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर रंग रंगना सब जोत तेरी जग जीवना घट घट हर रंग रंगना
Give them another round of applause. Well, they are preparing. We started out with Stephanie Young in her own inimitable style. Through our culture and again with Steve Spreitzer, it's a very appropriate and we welcome up here Dr. Christopher Doherty, president of Madonna University, who speaks on the profound benefits of community acceptance and the embrace of faith traditions. His reflections highlight the power of inclusivity and fostering mutual understanding, respect, and shared purpose among diverse groups. I've only met him tonight, but I've read about him and I've heard about him. And through his leadership, people are saying that he has encouraged dialogue and collaboration, inspiring individuals to embrace diversity as a cornerstone of collective growth and harmony. One more time, We are in his house on the college campus. Let's thank Dr. Doherty for welcoming.
Thank you, Bill, and just thanks to each of you for joining us this evening. I think if we had paused to wonder why we call this place the Welcome Center, I think we have our answer. Indeed. I first learned about this evening's event from Sister Nancy Jamrose, who is our co-director of the Center for Catholic Studies and Interfaith Dialogue here at Madonna. It's no coincidence that that center serves as a Center for Catholic Studies and Interfaith Dialogue, because interfaith dialogue is so very central to the Catholic intellectual tradition that we embrace and that we teach here at Madonna. The core values that we express as a ministry of the Felician Sisters are respect for the dignity of each individual, peace and justice, reverence for creation, and education for truth and service. And I'm just so grateful for this being a wonderful representation of the many things we do here at Madonna. Thank you to each of you for your time, for your talent, and serving as a reminder for us of all the things that we embrace as a Catholic intellectual community committed to this practice of interfaith dialogue. Behind you, in the core of the building, is the Heritage Center for the Felician Sisters of North America. It will be opened in November of 2025 as the Felician Sisters celebrate their centennial, 150 years of presence in North America. It celebrates the work of the Felician Sisters in Livonia, but not only the Felician Sisters in Livonia, the Felician Sisters through all of North America, and we're just so excited to, in some small way, serve as stewards for this tradition. And it is in that sense as well that I'd just like to express my gratitude on behalf of all of my colleagues who are here this evening from Madonna University for the wonderful reminder that you provided us of the work that we are committed to every day. Peace and all good.
As we walk off and as we bring this evening to a close, we'll be working with him for 2 other projects coming up. I want you to know, Breaking Barriers for Livonia Kids and Families that started Tour de Livonia is now going to host a Tour de Kids on the campus here in this parking lot for age 3 through 10 to give them an opportunity to learn bicycle safety. And that has been with the co-sponsorship of Madonna. That's one. And then we're working now, we do Tour de Livonia in September, which is 500 bike riders take a tour of our city. We've never toured through this facility, this half mile. Well, tonight I cornered him. And he said, send it in writing and we'll see if we can work it out. We would like to be here for Tour de Livonia, Doctor. Here, I tell him. As we bring this to a close, I'm reminded of only one thing before we say something in unison. It was 40 years ago that I got a phone call late at night from my mother, who was on the Livonia Prayer Breakfast Committee the same time that I was founding the same type of program in Canton Township where I was a county commissioner. And so she said, I just quit. And she said, why? Why did you just quit? And she said, well, they told me that there are no other religious groups in Livonia. So I want to invite all of everybody together. Well, it was almost 40 years later, but we did it, Mom. We brought you all together. First of all, with all the committee members, the people that worked on this, would you stand and let's acknowledge the people that have worked for 3 months to put this together. Steve. Thank you. Wonderful, and I think we're done with interfaith. Carrie Kaczynski cornered me in the corner. She does that so well. She says, Bill, I don't have enough of these to pass out, but your voice is loud enough that maybe you can share it. There will be an interfaith leaders luncheon on June the 19th, hosted by Holy Trinity Lutheran Church and Councilwoman Carrie Kaczynski. Follow her on Facebook. She's got the best communication network in the city next to my Friday music. And we'll keep people posted on this, and I'm so proud of Trinity and Carrie Kaczynski. Thank you both. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Dawn knows that I like palmiers, and she works at the Tuscan Cafe. And I'm upset because you all ate them all and I didn't get any. So Dawn, it's your fault. I want one tomorrow waiting for me when I come in. On your table, there's a bookmark provided to us by the Interfaith Council. From Steve's friend Bob, where are you? Bob, you're over here. He brought it. Pick it up and let's just in unison read this. And as we finish it, let's just remember one thing that we're going to do. That with hearts open and hands joined, we will go forth in peace. So we're going to read the commitment to resilience. Everybody has it. I believe that we are called to lift each other up. That we are stronger standing together. That our differences are a blessing. That empathy, love, and justice reveal the path to peace. And that good will prevail, because each of us is beloved. Therefore, I commit to enter in tolerance with goodwill, live by faith and hope, not fear, seek understanding and friendship whenever I can stand with those facing injustice. Meet resistance with resiliency, and build the beloved community each day. Thank you, and go in peace. Committee members up here with me would want to shot.
I've been working on that hang for hours. That was awesome. That was wonderful music.
Committee members, you come up to the stage, Steve. Mr. Nancy, we need you up here. Paul. With the committee instead of being here.
Yeah.